Welcome to Trucks. Now, I know a lot of you guys would love to own a Ford Lightning. Why not, man? They're an awesome rig. But they do have some limitations. You can only get them in a regular cab, two-wheel drive. Not the best if you're going to be towing a trailer full of ATVs or horses, and about as useless as one of these if you're going to go off-road to go hunting or fishing. Now, the fact that Ford doesn't build a four-wheel drive Lightning doesn't mean you can't own one. You're just going to have to build it, and that's what we're going to deal with today. The truck we're going to use for Project Sportsman is a 2002 Ford F-150 Super Crew four-wheel drive with a 5.4-liter V8. And today we're going to put on a supercharger, but not just any old supercharger. To make this thing run like a Lightning, we need a supercharger with an intercooler, and for that, we went to ATI ProCharger. Here is what they sent me. As you can see, this kit pretty much covers my whole table. Now, it includes a special mounting bracket, all kinds of hardware and fittings and hoses, special intake tubes, a new fuel pump, and of course their awesome polished gear-driven supercharger. But the crowning jewel is this air-to-air intercooler. Now guys, this system will give you a 65% increase in power. That's more than any other supercharger kit on the market, and they guarantee that. Now obviously, I've got a lot of stuff to put on, but first, I've got some disassembly to do. We're going to get started by taking off this air intake assembly, and make sure you pull out this air temperature sensor and the mass airflow meter, because you're going to have to reuse those on the new parts. We'll also need to relocate this power steering reservoir and get rid of this bracket, because that supercharger is going to sit right in this area. Now, with the brackets out of the way, we'll turn our attention up here to the front, take out the fan and the fan shroud, and then we'll go underneath, take off the skid plate and the air deflector. Oh yeah, by the way, if you've done any kind of computer upgrade to your truck, you need to change it back to stock, because that won't be compatible with that supercharger. The first new piece to go on is this crank pulley, and it bolts right to the stock harmonic balancer. Now notice, you don't have to mess with any of the stock belt system, and that is really nice. Next, we'll connect the fuel management unit. It splices right into the fuel return line using the hoses that come with the kit. Now, the way this thing works is it restricts your fuel return line, which causes more pressure in your fuel rail, and that gives you more fuel with each injector pulse. What all that means is it gives you the right air-fuel ratio for the supercharger. Now, to mount this thing, we'll put it on the firewall, drill, and mount it on. Then, using the hoses and the fittings that come with the kit, connect the vacuum lines. Okay, now we're ready for the heart of this system, the good stuff, the meat, the supercharger. Now the ProCharger mounts with this bracket that goes to the front of the engine using existing holes. You don't have to drill or anything. And just like everything else in this kit, it comes with all the hardware, the spacers, everything you're going to need, so you don't have to hunt hardware down. Also, notice all the idler pulleys and tensioner are all mounted to the bracket, so you don't have to mess with that. You just got to bolt it on. Make sure to use some Loctite on the bolts. Next, we need to trim the EGR bracket to clear the intake tubes. We'll do that with a Sawzall. Just make sure you protect the engine from metal shavings. ATI's ProCharger. Now this thing is a gear-driven centrifugal supercharger that's turned by this pulley here that runs a belt down to that crank pulley that we put on earlier. Now that in turn spins this impeller inside, and that compresses the air, blows it out here as boost. Now, see that oil filler? That means you don't have to run external oiling to keep this thing lubricated. It's all self-contained. That is really nice. Now to install this thing, just slide it into place and bolt it on. The power steering reservoir obviously can't go back to its stock location because there's a supercharger in the way. So the kit comes with this bracket to mount it over here on the side. Now make sure that your hoses aren't twisted before you mount it on. finally, we'll finish up by putting on the belt. Now, this is just a matter of threading this thing on according to the diagram and then setting your tension up here. Now, make sure that you recheck the tension after about 100 miles because the new belt will stretch on you. That takes care of the installation of a supercharger. I know you're thinking, whoa, wait a minute. That's all there is to it? There's got to be more than that. Yeah, there is. We got to modify some stuff. We'll take care of that after the break. Welcome back to Trucks and our Supercharger install on Project Sportsman, a 2002 Ford Super Crew 4-wheel drive. Yeah, we're going to use this thing for hunting and towing and hauling, you know, the stuff that you use a truck for. Now, the Supercharger went on pretty easy, not too many surprises. It's not all that easy though. We still got some things to do. We're going to turn our attention to the fan shroud because this needs to be modified to hold our intercooler tubes. Using the measurements supplied in the kit, mark the throttle body center line on the shroud. Center up the gasket on this mark and then trace around it. Then cut out the center with the jigsaw, once again using the supplied measurements. The bottom of the shroud needs to be modified similar to the top, so just make your marks and then come in and cut out the piece. Then install the intercooler tubing gasket on the shroud. Follow that by putting the shroud and the fan back on the truck. Don't be surprised if you have to fight with it some. Next, we're ready for our tubing. Now, if this was just a standard supercharger, we'd just run out of the blower into the throttle body and heck, we'd be finished. But since we're putting on an intercooler, we got a little more to do than that. Now notice how these tubes slide down through the top of the shroud in front of the fan and then flow out the bottom where we're going to mount our intercooler. Now, as for these fittings up here, and we'll just slide those together, but we're going to leave these clamps loose so we can adjust everything later on. All right, it is time for the intercooler. But first, how about a little intercooler 101? Now, anytime that you compress air, like with a supercharger, that creates heat. And heat, that's the enemy to horsepower. So, as boost goes up, pretty soon you've got a situation where all the extra heat you're generating because of the extra boost is canceling out all the benefits of the boost. So, an intercooler takes that hot blast of air and whoosh, cools it all down. So now you have a nice, dense, cool, compressed blast of air that's going back through those tubes and being rammed down the throat of that engine. Believe me, it is not going to know what hit it. To install the intercooler, bolt on the bracket that comes with the kit, and then slide it in place here behind the bumper. And finally, bolt it in place using the existing holes. Yeah, that's how it should look. Nice, clean installation. Now from here on out, it's just a matter of putting on your elbows and your hoses and your tubes. Once you have it how you want it, go ahead and tighten up your clamps. Now while I finish this up, why don't you go ahead and take a break, get yourself something to drink, and have something for me. I'll see you back here in about 5 minutes and we'll finish this thing up.
Just can't get enough of trucks? Check us out online at truckstv.com.
Hey, welcome back. You just made it because I was just about to start without you. Now, if you are just getting here, we are in the process of putting a supercharger on Project Sportsman, so we have plenty of power on tap when we need it. Now, as you might have guessed, since we have substantially upgraded our air intake system, well, we need to do something about the fuel delivery system too. ProCharger's got you covered with that. You have a high volume, high pressure fuel pump. Of course, all the hardware and wiring to mount it. But to put this thing in, you need to go under the truck. The first thing you need to find is your stock fuel filter. Now on a Ford, it's right here on the driver's side frame rail underneath the cab. Then you need to decide where you're going to mount your new pump over here by the filter. Let's see. That looks good right there. Ideally, you want to make sure that you mount to a bed support or the frame or something that's got some strength. Also, make sure you have enough slack in your lines to hook them up. Now just plug them in. The last thing we need to do under here is make some electrical connections, and that's very simple. We'll just run a power wire through the frame and hook it up to the pump, then connect your ground wire. Of course, the other end of the ground, well, that goes to the body or to the frame, something like that. But you need to make sure that you come in and scrape the paint off or the undercoating before you make that connection, because if you don't, well, that pump's probably not going to work. That is the #1 mistake that people make when they're doing wiring. They have a bad ground. Since we still have our electrical tools out, we might as well finish it up here under the hood. Now, the first thing we're going to do is mount this relay that comes with the kit right here on this inner fender, close to that power box. All right. Now, just make your connections. Now, something to keep in mind here, anytime that you're running wires, make sure you take the time to tuck them nice and neat out of the way, because it's details like that that'll make your parts look like they really belong there, not like some old hack job. The last thing we're going to do is put on this air intake tube. Now, this is what gives the engine a big blast of cool air through a high flow filter. Now, to put this on, you just mount it to the back of the supercharger where the input is. Then you just make all your connections to the tube. That, my friends, takes care of the supercharger install. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, whoa, wait a minute, stop. What about detonation? What about ignition upgrades? Well, with this kit, you don't need that. That intercooler keeps things cool enough to where you can run full timing, which gives you more power, and more boost, which obviously gives you more power. And look at this, comes in about halfway up our difficulty scale, which is really nice. Now, I know you're curious, how is this thing going to run? Well, you're going to have to come back next week, because I've got some more things to put in this project to put the sport in Project Sportsman. And then I promise I'll fire it up and take you for a spin. Here comes the big tire.
They're known as Goodguys because they build the baddest rides around. Plus, some new ways to brighten your life. Stay with us.
You know, one of the main goals of a show like Trucks is to not only show you how to build really cool stuff, but also show you some of the other cool trucks that are out there in the world of trucks. For example, this 2002 Dodge Ram. Why so special? Let's check it out. The first thing that grabs your eye on this rig is the stance, nice and low. This was achieved by SoCal Speed Shop when they cut the truck down with a 4-inch drop in the front and a 6-inch drop in the rear. The wheels are also impressive. They're special billet rollers made by Boyd Coddington, and to help accentuate the stance, you have 20s on the rear and 18s on the front. Now, all of that is cool, but the thing that makes this truck really special is it's one of 2 giveaway trucks that the Goodguys Rod and Custom Association is going to give away to 2 lucky participants. Now, I know you're thinking, whoa, wait a minute. A free truck? Man, what is this Goodguys thing and how the heck do I get involved? Let me educate you. The Goodguys Rod and Custom Association was established in 1986 by Gary and Marilyn Metters. And while you may expect to go to one of these events and see some killer cars, like this restored rotted Packard coming by, you're also going to see some killer trucks, like this smoking Chevy coming by. And of course, you're going to see engines. lots of engines. Big ones, small ones, heck, you name it. And you're not going to believe the level of design, the engineering, and the detail you're going to find here. Then there are the details, those little things that make every vehicle special, like custom-built grills, all sorts of wheel and tire combinations, very detailed handmade beds, interiors that would make a Mercedes jealous, and of course, awesome paint jobs.
It's a good-looking truck, good-looking paint job.
Nice
I'm a big
flame
flame
job.
man.
One of my favorite areas is the swap meet, because you never know what kind of glorious junk you're gonna find to drag home.
But I looked, I couldn't figure out what it was.
Would you have that in your house?
Definitely.
Liar. It's also a great way to make sure that you're keeping your hands dirty. Of course, Goodguys events are designed for the whole family, and kids not only love them, sometimes they get the best deals. A 34 Ford grill. Hey kid, hey, how you doing? Listen, I've got some Hot Wheels I'll trade you for that grill. Hey, wait a minute, hey, dang it. Goodguys puts on 22 events a year, and since trucks have become so popular, that's why they're giving away 2 new Dodge Rams. See, I told you this was a special rig. Unfortunately, there's some good news and bad news. The bad news is, by the time you see this show, this truck will have already been given away, probably to one of you viewers. The good news is you'll have another chance this year with something else. But even if you don't win a truck, going to the events is a blast, and isn't that what it's all about? All right, you're working on your truck, detailing the engine compartment. What are you going to do about the battery hold down? Well, up until now, you've only had a couple choices. You're either stuck with what you got from the factory, or you're stuck with what you could find at the local parts place. Ooh, there's some good choices. Well, now there's a third one, and it comes from Aerospace Components, and it's called the Billet Battery Tray, or the BBT for short. Now, this kit includes a battery tray to hold the battery, and it also includes aluminum arms that run up the sides, and then the final piece is this top part that holds the battery in place. Now, this is a really nice finishing touch for your engine compartment. And Aerospace Components sells these for about 120 bucks a piece. One of the biggest problems with building an early model hot rod truck has always been finding headlights for it. The junkyard sources dried up a long time ago. Well, Zoop's decided to do something about that and came out with the Zoop lights. Now, these are polished billet aluminum headlights that have a very uniquely shaped housing. They also have a really cool bulb with the blue dot in the center and the tri-bar inside the glass. The really cool part, though, is the incredible fit and precision in which these parts go together. All this, and Zoop's can somehow sell these things for 180 bucks a pair, and that includes the mounting brackets. Wow. Another thing that you can pick up for around 180 bucks is this dual battery kit from Wild Horses. Now, if you're into four-wheeling, you know that having 2 batteries is a heck of a lot better than having one, especially if you're running a winch or lights or something that draws a lot of power. Now, this kit comes with a 200 amp isolation relay and all the hardware and wiring. Plus, you get this switch so you can connect or isolate the batteries in various different combinations. Now, if you get stuck, well, you can't blame it on a dead battery. For those of you into the seriously slammed truck, you know the whole idea is to get that sucker down on the ground. Matter of fact, the big thing to do now is to be tooling down the road, hit your airbags, and drag the frame down on the ground so sparks fly out the back. It looks really cool, very bad on the frame. Well, Silver Star Customs decided to help you out with these titanium drag blocks. Now, these things bolt to the bottom of the truck. When you drop it down, you drag the titanium block on the ground, giving you a brilliant white spark. Now, Silver Star Customs sells these for 80 bucks a pair, and the installation's just 2 bolts. I need a bigger grinder. Now, that is a grinder. That's it for today. Smoke them if you got them, guys. Yeah. Yeah.